Picture this. It's after midnight in Lima's old Barrios Altos district. Neon flickers over cracked adobe walls, and a lone figure faces 3 attackers. In the space of one breath, about 3 seconds, one assailant's knee buckles, another clutches a slashed forearm. The third scrambles backward, eyes wide. No catus, no referee. Just Bakem, Peru's most secretive street-born martial art, doing exactly what it was built for, ending violence before backup arrives. Transition. But where did a system this brutal come from? And why do so few people outside Peru even know its name? 1. Birth of a street art. The early 1980s in Lima were a pressure cooker. Economic collapse, gang turf wars, and the Shining Path insurgency meant violence spilled into every alley. Roberto Leon Puch Bezada, ex-Marine, Chinatown street fighter, and, rumor says, one-time inmate, watched men die over a cheap watch and vowed to forge a method that left no room for hesitation. He called it Lucha Total, then shortened the registry paperwork to Bakem, or Vacon, depending on who printed the flyers. Puch mixed battlefield jujutsu with prison fooleria, old Creole boxing tricks, and the ruthless ingenuity of Lima's thieves, who could turn a sardine can lid into a razor. His goal: survive any ambush in under 3 seconds, the time he claimed it takes for a second attacker to draw steel. Practitioners trained behind shuttered bodegas or on Marine barracks rooftops, far from the eyes of polite society. Those sessions became the stuff of whispered legend, lungs burning from rooftop sprints, forearms bleeding from broken bottle clinch drills, and every student forced to spar multiple opponents before dawn. Transition. Yet even a system this raw follows a code, 7 rules etched into every Vacon fighter's muscle memory. 2. The 7 ruthless rules. Rule 1. Read the body. Puch taught students to clock an opponent's limb length, weight shift, and breathing rhythm before moving. A single offbeat step telegraphed fear, and fear is always exploitable. Rule 2. Stay elastic. A stiff limb snaps, he'd say, forcing recruits to hold bridge push-ups while partners kicked their ribs. Tension became the enemy. Rule 3. Cunning beats force. Peruvians call it picardia criolla, street cleverness. Fighters learn to fake exhaustion, then explode once a thug dropped his guard. Rule 4. Memorize weak points. Eyes, throat, groin, knees. Mapped out with chalk circles on a hanging pig carcass. Rule 5. Never turn your back. Drills had trainees wear ankle bells. If an instructor heard the jingle, you'd done a 180-degree spin and failed. Rule 6. Weaponize surprise. Switch your cadence, slip a coin throw, feint a surrender, anything to short-circuit the opponent's plan. Rule 7. No mercy once engaged. In Bakem sparring, hesitating after a takedown meant a mock, fatal tap. In the street, that hesitation could be real. Transition. Those rules set the mindset, but what about the toolbox? Let's step into a training night to see how Vacon forges that mindset into reflex. 3. Inside the dojo that isn't forget polished dojo floors. Imagine a dim rooftop with gravel underfoot and rusty water tanks as improvised cover. Warm up? 2 minutes of jump rope, then straight into pounding the wall. 50 full-force palm strikes on cracked concrete to condition wrists. Sparring gloves? None. Instead, padded garden tape wraps stick shards of sugar glass along knuckles, teaching fighters both caution and cruelty. Pad drills morph into weapon flow. Short sticks, plastic knives, even an old car antenna. The idea is simple. If it exists, it can be weaponized. Modern Bakem offshoots have added high-intensity interval bursts, burpees, sandbag throws, to replicate street adrenaline dumps. Some Lima clubs even run VR crime scenario sims before live contact, arguing that the brain should fear no sight it hasn't already rehearsed. Yet purists scoff. Screens can't bleed, they say, and insist on midnight gauntlets where 2 seniors corner a newbie, while a third randomly kills the lights. Survival is passing grade. Transition. All of that conditioning leads to the art's trademark arsenal of tricks. Some ingenious, others downright unsettling. 4. Weapons, tricks, and dirty secrets. At first glance, Bakem looks like Muay Thai elbows married to judo hip throws. Stay a little longer, and you notice glints of steel, hidden blade palms, coin flash bangs to the eyes, groin-level shin rakes followed by a bottle thrust. Pooch once demoed his favorite party trick, a matchbox taped to the wrist. Flick it open mid-clinch, spark a quick flare in your foe's face, then shoot a knee when he flinches. Students nicknamed the move La Ceguera, the blinding. Rumor speaks of an unsanctioned blade-on-blade spar in '94 that ended with a collapsed lung. Skeptics call it urban myth, but the tale still circulates, warning newcomers that Bakem's line between drill and duel is razor thin. The art even embraces psychological warfare. One advanced tactic has fighters feign terror, luring muggers into dropping their guard before unleashing a surprise scissor knee called El Cobrazo. Transition. Small wonder the media eventually took notice, though not always with applause. 5. Myths, misfires, and media hype. In 1997, a Canal 2 investigative crew aired grainy footage of a Bakem class. Shirtless men hurling each other onto gravel as Pooch barked, "Tres segundos o muerte." Viewers loved the spectacle. Officials hated the implied lawlessness. The clip resurfaced on German broadcaster ARD weeks later, stamping Bakem as the most dangerous martial art you've never heard of. UNESCO's International Center for Martial Arts later archived it under lethal hybrid systems, praising its cultural authenticity, yet noting its mortality risk. Online, the hype took a meme turn. A Reddit thread titled, "Bacon, Bacon, Bakem," poked fun at spellings before devolving into debates on whether the art was real or staged. Critics liken Bakem to Krav Maga, another no-rules survival method, arguing Bakem just has better folklore. Practitioners fire back. Krav comes from boot camp, Bakem comes from morgues. Transition. All of which raises a burning question. If this system is so effective, why aren't there franchises in every city? 6. Can you even learn it today? Short answer. Maybe, if you're willing to hunt. A handful of micro schools still operate in Lima's historic center. You'll find no signs, just a battered steel door marked "Se clava el valiente." The brave get stabbed. Prospective students undergo a vetting spar to prove heart. Pass and you'll be allowed to pay tuition equal to a month's average Peruvian wage. Cash up front, no refunds. Some security firms fly former Bakem fighters abroad for 3-day zero-distance combatives boot camps, but they strip out the hidden weapon drills to dodge liability. Legality also bites. In several countries, teaching techniques designed to maim or practicing with concealed blades skates close to criminal facilitation. Ironically, that very scarcity fuels Bakem's mystique. The fewer the demos, the wilder the rumors grow. Transition, which leads us to the final piece, legacy. Conclusion, legacy of no compromise. Roberto Pooch once told an interviewer, "If you hesitate, your mother buries you." That harsh credo forged a system where cunning eclipses strength, and mercy is a luxury. Today, whether preserved on a dusty rooftop in Lima or whispered through viral clips, Bakem remains a stark reminder that some martial arts weren't born for sport. They were born because, on certain nights in certain barrios, losing meant a chalk outline. So here's the closing question for every viewer. If survival had its own dialect, would you dare learn to speak Bakem? Knowing fluency demands more than bruises, it demands a mindset that never blinks. Think about that the next time you stroll a quiet alley, counting the seconds between footsteps.